Well, I thought I'd do something a bit different this morning. I've actually stopped on the way up to where I'm actually going because of the moon in the distance. You see the moon there? It just caught my eye. It was coming in out of clouds, so I thought I'd stop and shoot this tree here. I'm up at Great Staple Tor this morning. But I say I want to do something a bit different this morning. I want to not so much a technique video, rather kind of an exploration, if you like, or why I'm shooting here and what I'm looking for. It's nice to kind of get across what I'm trying to do, what I can see, that sort of thing. So I thought I'd just go through that this morning. So I've got a few sort of plans up at the main tour this morning, so I'll walk you through what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and my compositions, that sort of thing, what I'm looking for, what I'm seeing, and hopefully you'll enjoy. That's where I'm going. Great Staple Tor in the distance there. Still a bit cloudy this morning, but there are breaks coming up over here, and the wind's quite fairly strong, I suppose. But so all the clouds are moving constantly, so you're getting gaps coming up. When I started off as a photographer, landscape was kind of it's always been my kind of passion, if you like, so that's what I started with. I had zero patience when I started, absolutely nothing. I'd wait for a millisecond and then give up and think, oh well, stuff this, I'm going back home or go somewhere else, try something else. Over the years I've kind of developed this patience through sheer bloody mindedness, probably, and just learning to wait and to watch and to take your time, and sometimes it doesn't pay off, sometimes it doesn't work, and that is kind of a disappointment. It's kind of, you get used to that after a while, I suppose. That's the nature of what I'm doing, like landscape photography especially. Out of all the different genres of photography, it's one of those subjects where you're at the mercy of the weather, so you never know what it's going to do from one minute to the next. You just got to go with what you get. But it's like I say, it's one of those things, and you just kind of deal with it. Dawn and dusk, obviously that's the times I normally shoot, so dawn is always a bit it's a bit of a gamble. You can watch forecasts and you can plan things down to a T, but again, you're at the mercy of the weather, so you could invest time and effort getting to where you want to go. Here, for instance, this morning, I could get up here, set up, and it could rain and keep raining, and I might just walk back with nothing. Effing and jeffing underneath my breath as I walk back to the car, but it's one of those things. But yeah, there are chinks of light on the horizon. So, you've got to think, oh well, there's a bit of colour coming up, it might happen. Well, I'm here. Shots in the bag, that's always a good thing. I've literally just shot this image here. I've chosen to sort of silhouette the tor against the sky. The moon is still out up there. Just get my strap out the way. There it is, somewhere there. So yeah, some nice pinky colours in the sky. So by silhouetting the tor, if you like, against the sky, I'm able to sort of underexpose, if you like, and because I'm not worried about getting detail in the tor, just the actual shape of it. So that's a couple of shots in the bag. One down there when I started, and this one here. So I'm a happy bunny. So I'll walk you through in a moment and see what else we can find while I'm waiting for the sun to come up. I literally set up over there just now, but as the sun was popping up, I spotted this little shelf down here. It kind of juts out and it's catching all the sunlight coming through. Don't worry, I've actually taken a couple of shots already. The sun's literally just popped up, a little tiny slither of sky. It's going to disappear in a minute, so it's kind of it's getting in place, getting that sort of first shot, and I'm pretty pleased with this so far this morning. As I speak, the sun is just starting to disappear, so literally 2-3 minutes of light, and it's going to disappear for a while. Judging on the bank of cloud that's coming over from the sort of northwest, it's going to have to wait a while, I think, for a bit more light. But I'm a happy bunny. This is good. This is good. Panic over. More shots in the bag. We can see the clouds in the background now. They're shifting along quite quickly. These are low clouds. There is higher cloud as well, but that looks like it's fairly static at the moment. This low cloud, which is moving quite fast, at the moment it's kind of where the sun is, if you like. It's kind of disappeared into this low cloud, but because it's moving fast, it's worth kind of hanging around when it gets like this. It's always going to open up from time to time, but you've got to be ready to make the most of that light. I've got the best of it this morning. I won't be able to sort of shoot straight into the light now because it's too strong. Even this time of year, it's within 5-10 minutes it's too strong, the light. So I'm now going to look for compositions facing away from the sun, ideally sort of side lit, especially this kind of landscape. You've got all these rocks here that have weathered over the years, and it picks up the light. It looks fantastic when the light's on it. So yeah, I'll show you a couple of compositions, and then just wait for the light then. Okay, so my first composition, if you like, is this shot from here. Now this is the classic sort of shot from this location. I've seen this sort of countless times, and I've done it myself countless times. So, but why not? Try and get my own sort of take on it. Again, different conditions here. Some nice sort of bank of cloud in the distance there. You've got this is the main sort of point of interest, this stack here, and obviously this stack in the distance there. There's bags of foreground interest here, so this I'd probably shoot both portrait and landscape format. I prefer the portrait format here, especially this big triangular rock here. This is always works quite well. I'm always looking for sort of shots that kind of like this here. This kind of leads you into the shot. But again, this one here for a horizontal shot, or even a panoramic, looks quite nice. And you can see these rocks in the foreground here. This will catch the light when it comes up. Nice simple sort of grad down over the sky. So yeah, this one works quite nicely. Again, I've moved over now to my sort of left-hand side from the main viewpoint. At locations like this, like well-known locations and places that have been shot to death, it's kind of tempting sometimes just to shoot the main image that you always see, or always shoot what you've always shot before. But explore, have a look around, and even myself this morning, I've taken shots from places that I I haven't shot from before up here, so then it's all good. This is where landscape is really infuriating. It's kind of, you look across there now, and where I'm stood here, it's cloudy, it's dull, there's no direct sunlight, but in the distance there, lo and behold, there's the sunshine out on the coast. So last night I planned my location. This was the place. This was my original choice. So I got up this morning, and that was it. This is where I was going to go, and I will not change my mind. There's been many occasions where I have changed my mind and gone for the other option, like a coastal location or somewhere different on Dartmoor or somewhere wherever I am. So yeah, occasionally it's that kind of doubt creeps in. Well, I say occasionally, it creeps in quite a bit actually. I mean, luckily this morning I've come up here and I've got some great shots. So I'm happy. But you know, I've been in this position before where, you know, I've come up on Dartmoor or wherever I may be, and I've looked across and seen the glorious sunlight in the distance on lighting up the coast or the hills, and I've thought, I've chosen this location I'm stuck in, and instead of getting in the car and racing across to try and you know, to try and bag that light in the distance, I've kind of stuck with it, and sometimes I've got nothing, and that's hard. It's a bit of a pain. But like I say, luckily this morning it's all kind of worked out okay, which is good. Generally, when I found these compositions, I shoot away, get what I can. But I must admit, I'm one of these people that I don't wait till I get back to the computer. I delete as I go. Shock horror. Yeah, on the back of the camera. If a shot's not working, I bin it there and then. If it's not working, I know instantly it's not gonna work as a shot, so I'll bin it. Obviously for obvious reasons. If the technically, if the focus is off or something's gone wrong with the shot, and then yeah, it'll get binned. But also if the composition isn't working, it'll also get binned on the back of the camera off the card. Later on at the computer, I go through the sort of second stage where again I'll sort of choose the best ones, but anything else gets binned before the final sort of processing stage. So when I actually get to the raw stage on the computer and start developing the shots, I'm left with the keepers, if you like. I generally find when I'm actually shooting that normally the first sort of 10-15 frames, they don't normally work. It's very rare that I take a picture straight away and it actually works. Although having said that, it did work this morning, but it is rare, you know. It takes me a while to get into the swing of things. Right, I'm still waiting for the sunlight. I reckon another sort of 10-15 minutes, and it should pop through, and I should be all right then. For you can see this cloud moving across there. Look, the sun's over there, so it kind of gives you an idea of what I'm waiting for. This big clear gap in the distance, and then once that clears, I'm pretty safe, I think. And according to the forecast, it's from about 9 o'clock. It's going to be clear pretty much all day, so that's good. So while in this kind of downtime, if you like, while I'm waiting for that light, I'm going to sort of search the location and sort of see what I can find. So when the sun does come up, I'm kind of ready for it. So this location here, or this viewpoint, if you like, is I'm going to shoot a panoramic stitch here, and you can see it works quite well there. There's lovely sort of textured rock here in the foreground, through to this side here, and then in the middle there you've got I don't know what tour that is. I'm not sure. And there's a red flag on top as well, which is a military flag. I think I'm right in saying. whether they're firing things or having an exercise of some sort, I'm not sure, but I'm not going to go and find out. So the sunlight is literally going to pop out in the next sort of 5-10 minutes, so I'm ready for that light. What I've done just now, showing the locations, that's kind of how I sort of work a location. I kind of find the spots that I want to shoot from, and then when the light's good, rather than sort of flailing around and looking for a composition, I can just go bump, 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 and it's done. I'm not kind of wasting precious time with that light. Like I say, this time of year it's not too bad because the light's fairly low in the sky for longer, whereas in the summer months it does tend to disappear. That opportunity disappears quite quickly. So yeah, it's going to pop over the horizon now, or over the cloud I should say. So I'm going to go and get set up.